Tim Madison. I wanted to share a couple of my favorite testimonies that I've experienced that have been life-changing to me. I actually have a lot of them, but I have these two that stand out. The first one is a healing testimony, and there was this evening where a person I had walked by her, and she had these big, giant tumors on her arm and neck and face, all over every area of her exposed skin. And I saw her and I was like, man, I hope I get the opportunity to pray for her tonight. And sure enough, a little bit later, there was an opportunity for people just to gather around her and pray. And I ran back there because I was wanting to see God move. And I got to. As we began to ask Jesus to show up and release his goodness on her, with my eyes, I watched as the tumors all over her body just began to disintegrate and completely disappeared. To say she was excited is an understatement. She just really lost it and was screaming and crying and thanking Jesus. And I'll never forget that. And I have to do something with that in my life. Like, that's now my ground level of expectancy from Jesus when we pray. My second testimony is more of a personal testimony. Back in the 90s, I was a believer, but I had a lot of judgment in my life, and I felt I had permission to judge people. And so there was this evening, I was at church actually, and I was sitting in the very back row of church worshiping, and up in front there was a person just crying and weeping. And I sat down, and I was just disturbed by the scene that was taking place. And I folded my arms, and I said to myself, man, I wish somebody would shut her up. And in that moment, Jesus came to me, and he said, the only people that judged me when the woman cried on my feet and washed them were the religious ones. And he corrected me in such a life-changing manner. The next week, I found out that girl was 12 years old, and she had been having nightmares for months and months. And that whole week after she had that encounter with Jesus, she hadn't had one nightmare that whole week. And yet I sat in the back and judged her encounter with Jesus. So that eternally changed me and my expectancy of how Jesus would come to me and how he wants me to come to the world.